Good evening from rather hot and muggy South Africa for episode 60 of Velospitty Speed Talk, presented to you by Youth Force Racing. My name is Tina Snell, and I've got two very, very special guests this evening. The name of our episode is Stars and Stripes, and there's a wordplay for you because we've got the Stars and Stripes rider with us, Kristian Daniel Jr. from the United States. Kristian, thank you, and for joining us, and welcome to the show.
Yeah, honestly, it's a pleasure to be on the show.
Are you with us, Kristian?
Yeah.
Kristian?
Can you hear me?
Hello? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Hi, guys. Can you hear me now?
I can hear.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you, Ethan? Can you hear me?
All right.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be on the show, to be honest. And yeah, I mean, I can't wait to get it started and underway.
Okay, Ethan. Yeah. All right, and we have a co-presenter, a very special co-presenter who's an alumnus of the show, actually, Ethan Sparks from England. And so we're covering a lot of the world. We're covering South Africa, America, Spain, and England today. Ethan has had a special season. He's just won the British Talent Cup, and that has gained him access and promoted him to the Red Bull Rookies Cup, which we will speak about a bit in time. Ethan, thank you for joining us as well.
Yeah, no, thank you for bringing me on the show. It's a pleasure to be on it.
All right. Now, Kristian, we start off with your history. I read up a bit in your history, and you said you got bitten by the bug when you were taken to a MotoGP race when you were 4 years old at Austin in Texas. So tell us a little bit about that event.
Yeah, so basically, I mean, I'm not from a racing background, so like my dad doesn't race, my grandpa doesn't race. I'm the first one in my generation to kind of start a racing career, and yeah, so I mean, my dad was a MotoGP super fan, but he wasn't a racer, so he took me to a MotoGP race in Austin, and that was my first time in a MotoGP race. I was 4 at the time. And I mean, that just lit up my world because also it was the same race that Marquez won his first ever MotoGP race at. So I actually got a photo with him. And I think from that moment, it kind of sparked something in me to like be able to be like Marquez. So yeah, I think that's the origins of like how I kind of got into racing. But I gotta say it's a cool story.
Sure. Yeah, it's a fantastic story, and you speak about Marquez, and there's actually a photo of Marquez, holding you, and there's quite a few photos of you and Marquez, and of course, ironically, now you share the paddock with Marquez and see him quite as often as you like, really. You started racing yourself. You got your first bike. I don't know if it was a PW or whatever you got, but then you got a kind of a racing style bike. So you started racing a year or two after that yourself. Is that right?
Yeah. So I started racing on a CR50 Honda in the States. I raced on that for about 3 years until I moved to Spain. I was with a CR50, and then what we could do was upgrade the engine so it's a little bit stronger. And we called them Crazy 88s, which is an 88cc motor. And I used to race with that in the States for about 3 years, like I said. Really just local races, club racing, nothing too special. And that's really the main reason why we moved to Spain, because I had the amazing opportunity to be able to do kind of like a wild card in one of the Catalan GPs for the first time in 2017. And from that moment, we realized, like, if I want to make it to MotoGP, the only way is to move to anywhere in Europe. And we chose Spain, specifically in Catalonia, because we have quite a few connections. So, yeah.
Yeah. Of course, you can't go wrong with Spain, Ethan. I think you of the same opinion, right? You guys are also you started with European Talent Cup this year, so you guys also realize. I mean, Spain is really ground zero for motorcycle racing, right?
Yeah, definitely. In England, we have, I think, one track which is good to ride on. I think it's about 4 hour drive from us, so it's a bit of a way. Other than that, we've got a bit of motocross and no other real tarmac tracks. So yeah, we sort of over the winter we go to Spain to ride and train because obviously the weather's better and it's just better to ride out there with more opportunities and more tracks to ride on.
Yeah, and we will get to the plans of the both of you in a bit. Now, Christian, you met Marquez, but I noticed in some of your old videos when you were teeny tiny guy, you also had some interactions with Nicky Hayden, which of course tragically we lost a few years ago. And you know, of course, in American MotoGP terms, that is the big name, right? So what are your memories of Nicky Hayden, and where does he figure in your Euro rankings?
Yeah, so honestly, I don't remember him that much. I do have photos with him, obviously, like I know that, but I don't remember really his personality. Um, all I know is that he was a super nice guy for sure. I do really look up to him, to be honest, not as in a personality or as a person, because I never really got to meet with him personally. But on a rider perspective, I really respect him since he was the last MotoGP rider that won a championship from America. So I mean, it's really inspiring, to be honest. And I mean, I that's kind of like that's right now. That's my only like marker as to where the last person from my, let's say, from my situation has come from. So he's kind of like he's an idol. He's my idol for sure.
Yeah, and of course, there's quite a shortage of American riders on the international stage. I know 4 American riders made it to the final day of Red Bull Rookies Cup selection. Unfortunately, not one of them went through. So you, the sole American representative of the youth brigade there, and of course in Moto2, and then with Trackhouse Aprilia, of course, we've got an American team which will hopefully pull more American riders through. Now, you mentioned you're going to Spain, and I know you have participated then in some Cuna de Campeones races and so on, and made your way. So how did your career in Spain progress? You know, what happened in each of the years?
Yeah, so basically in 2018, we had moved over completely. We took about a year to kind of get established into Spain because going from United States, from LA to Catalonia is like probably the biggest change that everyone in my family, including myself, have made in all of our lives. So yeah, I mean, it was kind of just getting situated with school. I do Spanish public school. Try to learn the language as much as possible. Also, there's Catalan that exists, the language Catalan, since we're in Catalonia. So it was difficult the first year for sure, like to kind of get to adapt to everything because it's super different, like I said. But after that, I started racing in the Catalan Championship for 1 year, where I raced with the 110 mini GP bikes, which is kind of basically what everyone's doing right now, except most of them are ovales most of the time. Everywhere I see like mini GP is mostly ovales now, but I used to race with a bike it's an IMR. It's a Spanish brand, and it's kind of produced for the Spanish/European region. But yeah, so I raced in that in the first year, and we realized like I did pretty well in it. I don't remember what place I got, but I know I didn't do so bad. Um, so then we moved directly up to, I mean, this was probably one of those hard decisions and hard year. I moved up to the Spanish, let's say like the Spanish mini GP class, which was like super competitive. Like I used to race against Brian Uriarte and Maximo Quiles. I used to race against all these
Both of
guys.
them now
Like,
GP riders. Uriarte is making his
yeah,
wildcard
I
debut
mean,
this
Maximo's
weekend in
already
Australia,
there.
right?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was
Maximo is one of the early riders that I interviewed, by the way. I used to call
interesting.
him Maxterix. I don't know if you read Asterix comics. So I gave
No.
Maximo the name Maxterix. And I even had a cartoon drawn up for him. I'll send that to you so you can see, But
Okay.
anyhow, go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, I raced in that championship, and I mean, obviously, like we see the level that they have now. It's not like they randomly hit a growth spurt. They've always been super fast. So I
Yeah,
mean, that was probably the first year when I realized like, okay, like these guys are actually super fast, and I have to like train really hard and try all I can to get to that level. So I spent 2 years in that championship, and in my second year in the Spanish championship, I raced in Cuna de Campeones as well. Um, so I kind of like I just try to get as much experience as possible. I think that's the only way. That's the only way people from outside of Italy, France, or Europe kind of that's what they have to do. Just rack up as much experience as possible. And yeah, so then after that, I did the next step, which is it's Moto 5,
yeah,
220 cc bikes. Not as powerful as like a Moto 4, two Moto 4 150 engine, or like a Promo 3 engine, which is also I think it also is a 150 engine, but it's a bit slower. And you still race on karting tracks, and it's a bit it's not as powerful. So yeah, basically I was racing with that for 1 year, and I did pretty good. I started off quite difficult because it was the first time I was with a bigger bike, and I ended up improving quite a lot. So we made like a super big jump. In my opinion, it wasn't really the best idea for sure. But I mean, I'm here right now and I'm still progressing. So that's the important part. Whatever happens in the middle is extra stuff. But I jumped directly to the European Talent Cup
that's
from
a big
that
one.
championship, which is like I skipped basically what mostly everyone does, like Moto 4, pre Moto 3. Like I skipped everything and I went straight to like, in my opinion, probably the hardest championship that I've raced in
Yeah.
so far, because it's just you get there and at least for me, like I wasn't extremely fast and I wasn't like super experienced on big tracks. Um, I mean, my first race in my first season, that was the second time I ever touched a big track in my whole career. So it was kind of like I was just learning as I went. And yeah, so basically I did that for 4 years until I was 16, or sorry, until I was 15. Started at 12, and I entered the I entered the Red Bull Rookies Cup at 15. So I did that
Right.
championship. I did that jointly. So basically, Um, I raced in the European Talent Cup and the Rookies Cup at the same time for my last year in the ETC, and then now I'm in the Rookies Cup for my second year.
Right.
Well,
Yeah,
just
we'll
finished.
get to the Rookies Cup because that's a story in itself. Now, Ethan, that's where we pull you in because that's a little bit your story as well. And now, Kristian, for your, I think you guys only met this evening, if I'm not wrong. The Ethan was a very near podium finisher in the Ovali Worlds finals. Which was at Valencia. Is that right, Ethan, or where was that held?
I did both. So in the 160s, it was at Valencia. But then obviously the storm happened. So uh, the next year that I did it on the 190, it was moved to Aragon, which was definitely a really good track. I did get a podium in the races. So at Valencia, I got a third on the 160, but fourth overall. And at on the 190 at Aragon, I got second in the super final race, but again, fourth overall. So, yeah, I still got a podium, which is good, but not a podium overall.
Well, yeah, that's good. Any podium in a world final is nothing to be sneezed at. So and then from there, you also realized the value of being in Spain. So maybe you can just take us briefly through what your experiences have been in Spain so far.
So the first championship that I rode in Spain was the Moto 4. So we did a wild card, I think, in 2022 for MRE. That's when we thought it was really good championship. Obviously, I was just off the back of the front group, which I thought was good for my first time racing a big track. So the next year we decided to go to the Moto 4, which we raced just me and my dad on my own. So it was a difficult year to start with, but I managed to get 2 podiums and a win, I think. So that was a really good year learning all the tracks. Then the following year, we decided to move up to pre-Moto 3 again. Again, just me and my dad. So it was definitely really difficult. We had some struggles and some races missed, but yeah, that was the second championship I raced in Spain. I didn't quite get a podium, but I managed to qualify P2 in a race, and I was battling in the front at the end. So yeah, they're the 2 championships that I started off racing in Spain in. And then obviously now I'm in the European Talent Cup. We haven't done the full season because we've prioritized the BTC really. But yeah, so that's the main 3 championships that I've done in Spain. Other than that, I've raced in England.
Right, and your European Talent Cup, what result you had? You were in the points in any case in your debut season in ETC, right?
Yeah, so Estoril, I didn't quite qualify for the race. I think I was 11th in the practice, and then 5th in. No, I missed out on Q1 because we had a problem with the bike. But other than that, it was still a really good year because round because in the last chance race it was difficult conditions. The rain was definitely really heavy, and I think I fought through from the back of the grid to P4, which was a really good race. But then after that, at Aref, which is a track that I really like, we started off really good. I managed to go straight through to Q2, where I think I qualified 8th on the grid.
Wow.
And I got 13th and 10th, and I was battling in the second group. So, yeah, that round was really good for me. And then, same at Magny Core, I managed to go straight through to Q2. We didn't have the best qualifying. I think I was around 18th or something. And the weather definitely kept changing. But the one dry race we had, I managed to, well, I got caught up in an incident which ruined my race. But other than that, the 2 rounds were really good. I showed that I've got some good pace. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to the
All right.
next.
Well, there, Kristian. So you, the old man in the group, in the racing group. So you know what Ethan's going through and how tough it is. And you mentioned Maximo Quiles and Brian Uriarte, Alvaro Carpi. These guys are all now guys. Guido Pini. These are all guys that are now GP. Well, Uriarte not yet, but that are front runners, Moto3 front runners, which shows you what the level is of European Talent Cup and Junior GP, if I'm Junior GP. So that's the interesting part of that. But now we're getting to the Rookies Cup. Kristian, you've just been selected or confirmed for your 3rd year, which is always an honor. They don't stick around with a rider unless they unless they see something of you, and we will get back to your results. And of course, Ethan got the nod by dint of winning his championship. So now I'm gonna leave it to Ethan, just to run through it with you to see what your experiences are in the Rookies Cup. So Ethan, if there's anything you want to ask or comment on, you guys can chat about it.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so I mean, Rookies Cup. To be honest, I think it was. I mean, coming from ETC, you already know. Like the for me, the biggest thing that changed, like in my mentality, was probably like the disqualifying part of it, like just not being able to qualify, like not having to think about that in a weekend in the Rookies Cup. Like it already took out probably like 70% of the stress. And I mean, especially if you come through like winning a championship, I don't know how that feels, to be honest. It probably feels good for sure, because I mean you literally like you deserve being in the championship because you fought your way through it. But honestly, I think you'll do super good probably. Like I don't know how you'll gel with the bike. That's all whatever comes. But I mean, it's a super open championship. Like it's basically a family, and it's really fun, and there's a lot of things you can learn. So I mean, any questions you got, like I can try to help as much as possible.
Yeah, no, it should be definitely a good year, or maybe 2 if I get a second year. So, yeah, I mean, I've met the the coaches of the Rebel Rookies. So I did the mini GP in Austria for 2 years. So I knew Gustal, one of the rider coaches, for at least 2 years. So yeah, it should be. I should have a good year. Hopefully, the first year I can just learn and try and get the best results I can, and just see what happens there. See if I can get used to the bike. Definitely having the stress off of the qualifying, like having to qualify for the races, is good because obviously there's 50 riders in the ETC. It's annoying when you go all the way there from, well, it must be more annoying from you when you used to come from America, but coming all the way to Spain and missing out on the race is quite annoying. But no, hopefully I should have a good year otherwise.
Yeah.
All right, and Kristian, if you can, for Ethan's sake, how did you find the difference between the ETC bike and the Rookies Cup bike? Because of course you rode both in the same season, and Ethan knows what an ETC bike is like, and we are going to get to what links the two of you in your Spanish connection in a minute. But how would you compare the two bikes?
So I'd say, I mean, personally, I think, because I also rode, this year, I did a few tests with the Moto3, with the Junior GP bike. And I gotta say that the NSF 250 is like, it's very, very, very similar to the Rookies Cup bike. Like, there are a few things that change, but like, that's like saying like an Ovale is the same as a Bucci. There's a difference, obviously. But there's a lot of mechanics that are the same. Like the clutch, it's not a slipper clutch. It's a regular. It's basically like a completely stock bike. I mean, I think it's good, like just to keep everything simple. It's really a simple bike, to be honest. It's a lot of riding technique is pretty important, but I mean that's with the European Tonka bike as well. So it's pretty similar in a lot of aspects. I'd say the biggest things I probably noticed that are differences, which I mean these are like very minor details, but like I felt more comfortable with the KTM frame, or like how it was built for entering corners. Like corner entry, I felt a lot more comfortable with the Rookies Cup bike than with the ETC. Maybe that's for the KTM. Maybe it's a setup. That's above me. But yeah, it's pretty similar in a lot of aspects.
Yeah, what's the size difference like? Because obviously I'm not a tall rider, but it's just I was curious to see if they're bigger, or I know
So on it,
NSF's small, like low
yeah,
down to the ground, but yeah.
yeah. So actually, that's actually a good one. The Rookies Cup bike is pretty tall actually. So it's, in my opinion, I'm pretty sure it's taller than the Junior GP bike. So it's a bit bigger. It's a lot, actually. It's a lot bigger than the ETC. Like every weekend, I would switch to one bike to the other. It would feel like a mini GP bike versus a big bike. I mean, of course, I'm a bit bigger now. I don't know how it would feel for you, but like I feel like it's a bit taller, a bit more stretched out. So yeah, I think that one's actually a pretty big difference.
Well, now Ethan mentions that he's not the biggest rider. Now let me tell you, if you go back and watch the BTC races, and some of them are insane races. They look, they had a breakaway group of 3-4 riders, and in the end there were only 3 riders in the hunt for the title. And Ethan made a comeback from behind because he had 2 crashes early in the season, but some hairy races. But he would be on the podium at the top, and the second and third guys were actually taller than him on the podium. So he was this tiny guy that won the races. Now, Ethan, Dad told me that he's packing the camper. You guys are headed off for Spain. Is that right?
Yeah, so I think not this week, but the end of next week, we're going to start driving out to Spain. So usually what we do every year is we drive out with my NSF or my training bike in my camper van, which we leave at like near an airport, which is sort of in the middle of Spain, which is close to a lot of tracks. And then we fly out loads of different times through the winter and go in my camper van and go to different tracks and stay in that. So yeah, it's definitely a good way of doing it. It's probably the easiest way, as it's the cheapest because we've got the motorhome. So yeah, but at the end of the week, we're doing that, just getting ready for the winter.
All right, now we come to the part of Spain that links the two of you, and that is Anscari. Of course, Kristian, you worked with Anscari. You rode for AGR team, good team. Anscari, I know Anscari many years. I used to have a motocross world championship team from 2000 ish to 2009 ish, and I had some Spanish riders in my team. So I met Anscari way back when the Dead Sea wasn't even ill yet. So we've come back a long way, and it was amazing. I wanted to interview a rider. I forget who it was. Cormac Buchanan, I think I found myself, but a rider, and they said, "Oh, you need to speak to the team owner." And I said, "Oh, who's that?" And they said, "Anscari Nadal." I thought there cannot be more than one of those in the world. So Anscari, you work with 111 management. You ride with Kabuto helmets, which Anscari, I think, he's the representative of that. And I'd introduced Ethan and them to him as well. So Kristian, what's been your experience with Anscari and being on the ranch and being able to train there, and how the team was in general?
Yeah, so so Anscari was actually the person who like brought me over in 2017 to do the wild card. Like he was my first ever like link into the racing world in Europe, and I mean he still is. But so that's kind of like from when I knew him from. I knew him from about 2017, and he's just been helping me since then. And I mean, in my opinion, AGR it's a super good team. Like it's probably on the upper side of like the high quality teams for sure. It's a big team as well, so like I think it helped me a lot to because I joined them in my first year in the ETC, and I think that really changed my mindset on like how everything works. Because obviously I went from like you said, like racing, let's say with my dad in Moto 5 to like a full blown team, like a team of people built around me. So I honestly I grew a lot, and I really love the environment that they build. It's really it's good for progression. But yeah, honestly, HR it's been a really fun experience, and I mean I learned a lot of things from being there.
Yeah, and of course you've got the benefit of being on the ranch and being able to train there with flat track and that. Have you spent much time on the ranch?
Yes. So actually, we don't do so much flat track at the ranch. We do a lot of trials though. It's honestly super good training, and
Yeah.
we do a lot of. So Rocco's Ranch actually is 15 minutes away from the ranch. So we kind of we moved all our training to there for flat track, and also we do a lot of motocross. So there's a lot of off road that we do. But since most of the time there's more than one person at the ranch, usually we go for like group cycles. We cycle a lot. We go swimming. We play quite a bit of paddle, and I mean we run a lot as well. So it's kind of it's a general training. It's not just one. So I think it's super beneficial.
All right, and now the other thing that I mentioned is the helmets, the Kabuto, and until Anscari told me about it, I didn't know about the brand, but it's a top line Japanese brand, of course, and I saw in some of your photos you had some giddy nice helmets, that they did for you. How's your experience been with the brand? Obviously, in Ricky's Cup, you have to ride with the brand that the cup, I think it's HJC or whatever, but in general, how did you find those helmets to be?
Honestly, like comfort level, it's one of the best I've worn, if not the best. I mean, I've been in the Kabuto family for about 4 years now. I mean, since I joined the European Talent Cup, and I mean, they just all they've shown is like love and support, which is it's amazing. And I love the helmets. Like the feeling is super nice, and also I have a designer that designs all the AGR riders helmets, SL Graphics, which I mean he does an amazing job with designing the Kabuto helmets, designing them. And I mean, yeah, it's I mean, I'm super happy that I was able to get like that connection through Anscari, obviously, to be able to wear Kabuto. I really like it.
Yeah, and I introduced Ethan and his dad to Anscari as well. They visited him at one of the races, and hopefully they will speak again. Now, I thought, if you've got the popcorn ready, I thought let me put something together with all that I've discovered about you. So this is either going to be very cringy or you're going to enjoy it a lot. So let's see what comes out of this. So check this out, and I'll tell you, and there'll be a lot to unpack after that.
I'm Kristian Daniel. I like racing motorcycles a lot.
Circles, trying to find my way, chasing shadows and dreams that fade away with each new day. I thought I had a purpose, but it slipped right through. Now I'm left with nothing but the emptiness I knew. Maybe I should stop and take a breath, let go of the illusion and find my depth. Maybe then I'll find my way and the emptiness will fade. I'm chasing nothing and it's chasing me. Never-ending cycle of emptiness and energy. I'm searching for a meaning in this endless sea, but it's hard to find myself when I am chasing nothing, don't you see?
Yes, and KTM is so different.
I'll try to fill the void with temporary highs, but they only leave me hollow and wondering why.
Everyone has to be
I thought I had direction, but I was wrong. Now I'm left with nothing but the echoes of my song. Maybe I should stop and take a breath, let go of the illusion and find my depth. Maybe then I'll find my way and the emptiness will fade. I'm chasing nothing and it's chasing me. Never-ending cycle of emptiness and energy. I'm searching for a meaning in this endless sea, but it's hard to find myself when I am chasing nothing, don't you see?
Let's go, Jay.
Third place, Kristian Daniel. Welcome to the American Lager.
I'm Kristian Daniel. I like racing motorcycles a lot.
All right, sorry, I almost hit the replay button on the video. So there's your own rock video. What did you think of that?
Honestly, I really liked it. It was like, I mean, there were some clips there that I don't even remember like happened, but it kind of like uncovered. I don't know how to say it correctly, but it like uncovered some hidden memories I had from the past. It was really nice.
All right. and the Maximo Achilles said the very same thing to me when I did a video of him, and he said to me, "Oh man, I've never even seen that some of those clips." So there's quite a lot of things to unpack there. Firstly, we see you doing a speech, and I know you. We saw you doing a speech you'd won an award of at your local town, and you did your speech in Spanish. So how fluent are you in Spanish?
I gotta say, I'm pretty sure I'm like very, very fluent in Spanish. Like I said, when I moved here in 2018, I directly joined a public school. So, I mean, I've been like I've basically been learning like regular classes since I was like 9 years old. So I'm very, very fluent in Spanish and Catalan.
All right, yeah, and Catalan, which is actually a separate language. And Ethan, are you making plans to learn the language as well?
Yeah, I'm trying. Obviously, I do Spanish at school. We had an option between French and Spanish, and I chose Spanish. Obviously, it's going to be more important for me. So I wouldn't say I'm fluent. I know how to pick out words and make sentences, but I'm just getting there. Really, I'm trying to learn as much as I can, as quick as I can.
All right. Okay. Now, let's get back to you, Kristian, on that video that we did for you. And by the way, it's a South African band of whom I know the front man. We spoke extensively in the day. So the composer and singer of the song is actually watching the show right now. But basically, you see things. You see you. Interviewing Jose Antonio Rueda and speaking to Colin Fayer, well, not in the video, but I saw that. So, which riders would you regard as your best friends in the paddock?
As I'd probably say my best friends in the paddock. I mean, every year it changes, but let's say last year or this year, that are obviously finished in the Red Bull Rookies Cup had to be probably Cormac Buchanan, mostly because he comes from the one-on-one management like training regiment that Anscari fixed up, and he lives like 5 minutes away from me. So yeah, I'd say he's probably my best friend in the paddock. Also, Alvaro, I met him like a long time ago. To be honest, I met him when I was racing in Moto 5, and since then I've kind of been looking up to him, and obviously Brian and Maximo, these guys I have a bit of a connection with as well. So I think it's mostly like the the younger Moto 3 guys.
Right, and yeah, Cormac. We did a very long interview with Cormac on the show before, more than an hour interview. So obviously, I know Cormac well as well, and also he's in Australia at the moment. Are you going to follow the GP tomorrow, you guys? By the way.
Yeah, definitely.
Of course, yeah, for sure.
Are you there? Kristian, yeah, no, we got a lag in the broadcast, yeah. So no, I just wanted to find out: are you guys following the Australian GP on the weekend? Because they said they might switch the GP around again, like they did 2 years before, to have the MotoGP race actually tomorrow already.
No, I've not heard of that, but I'm definitely going to follow it.
Because of the wind. They're expecting big wind on Sunday. In 2023, they were going to switch the GP race and the sprint. So the GP race happened on the Saturday, and the sprint ended up getting cancelled. So they were talking. I know Bagnaia wants to do that as well.
I mean, I didn't know that, but I'll still watch it. I usually watch because qualifying obviously happens, so I'm watching for all of my friends and stuff. Brian is making his debut in Australia, so I want to kind of see what he's doing, especially since he's coming straight out of Rookies Cup. I mean, I'll watch every category, but especially MotoGP. If it's on Saturday, then that's perfect.
All right. Now, yeah, and of course, there's all the young guns that we can watch. Like we said, Maximo, Brian, Uriarte, Alvaro, and then all of the newcomers, and then of course the youngsters in the MotoGP class itself with Acosta and Fermin Aldeguer. And I guess you'd seen Fermin Aldeguer race. Yourself when he was Moto2, European Moto2, because that was the time you did European Talent Cup, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was clear that he was meant for the World Championship because he completely dominated like every race. I mean, so his teammate was Alonso Lopez. He was the only person who was able to even like get
Yeah.
close. But aside from that, he just dominated the championship.
Yeah, and they look like they could be brothers in any case as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's also it's interesting because Pedro Acosta and Fermin Alder, they both have. I mean, I don't want to put words into other people's mouths, and I'm pretty sure they have a bit of a rivalry because they're both from the South region, so they're kind
Yeah.
of fighting for like a. They're fighting for their status for sure.
Yeah, yeah, they're from Murcia. Both of them Murcia, and also Maximo is from Murcia. So that
Yeah.
looks to be the new hotspot of racing in the world at the moment. That's where the gold bars are, right?
Yeah, I mean, for example, this winter I'm going to go to Murcia down south to train because I mean that's just it's like you said, it's the hot spot right now where all like MotoGP riders go to train there, Moto2, Moto3, like a lot of categories go to train there. So I mean it's a really good spot.
All right. Now, one thing, a personal thing, we saw you in a clip in a video doing a drawing, and I see you do some anime stuff and that. Do you still draw? Do you still do that? And you are very, very talented at what you do there.
I mean, every now and again, I draw whatnot. Not so much anymore. I do like watch. I do watch anime every now and again as well. Because I mean, I'm at home a lot. But yeah, it's one of those things where I like doing, and I just
All right. Okay.
kept
Now,
doing it.
just as an aside, we've had a good time already. Just tell us what you how do you see your future, your next season developing, the both of you, and after that.
So for myself, I mean, I am targeting to win the championship for sure. It's going to be my third year, so I think I racked up enough experience to have the confidence to say that. And I've learned, I think I've learned the necessary things to even like. I mean, obviously, the first step is to get my first win. That's the most important thing. So I'll focus on that first. But I mean, I think that's how it kind of should be every race. Like, kind of try to figure out how I can win every race. And yeah, that's my next goal. And then after that would be World Championship, hopefully.
And you, Ethan, and by the way, sorry for the interruption. By the way, of course, you had your first podium this year, Kristian. So that must have been a huge moment for all of you. So we'll run through that in a moment. But Ethan, how do you see your season progressing, and what do you expect of your debut Rookies Cup season?
I hope to just learn as much as I can. Obviously, I really want to get good results, but I know that it'll be difficult, and I've got to train as hard as I can to get them. So just learning really. Hopefully, I can get that second year where I can try now to start getting those results and try and challenge to the championship. But I really want to just learn this year as much as I can, and then obviously moving forward, same as Kristian, I just want to maybe go to the World Championship.
Yeah, I think there's precious little doubt that both of you have the talent to do that. Both Anscari and myself agree about that. So I hope to be able to see you guys and talk about you in glowing terms in 2 years' time, the both of you. And now, Kristian, your highlight, your day, the red flag race and the podium in your Rookies Cup. How do you remember that day?
So I mean, The one in Jerez, like that was super special because it was the first race of the season, and obviously, like I said, I've been in the ETC championship for 4 years, and that it wasn't the funnest experience to be honest, but I mean, it was part of the learning process, and to finally get like some sort of like achievement, which I mean, not many people have podiumed in the Rookies Cup. It was super special, and then the one in Austria, that one was also really special because it was after the summer break. So I had a few like, let's say not the best result races. Like Saxon Ring wasn't the best. Had a few crashes here and there. So it wasn't that I was starting to doubt myself, but there was a bit of like I was just hungry for a good result at that point. And with the podium coming like to me like that, especially with the red flag and it starting raining, I felt like super happy, especially with my little brother being there. It made it like really special. So yeah, it was a really special moment for both of them for different reasons.
Yeah. Especially, I saw you actually. You acknowledged your little brother as you did the celebrations and that's fantastic. And I read that he's a keen footballer and so on. So now the both of you, of course, there's a lot that goes in. Both of you mentioned your fathers and family and the sacrifices that everybody makes to get you to where you are. Who are the people that you think you need to thank? And I know you cannot possibly remember everybody, but who come to mind? Kristian, you go, and then Ethan, you tell us.
I mean, I'll just start from like the people I know the most. It's obviously all of my family, my dad, my mom, my grandparents as well. They supported me for as long as I can remember. Like I wouldn't be here without my grandparents' support, and I wouldn't be here without the commitment of my parents and the support they gave me. Um, so I mean, like you said, I don't know. I can't name everyone that has supported me off the top of my head, but I mean, my family, like it's my main sponsor, and I mean, everyone knows, especially Ethan. Like you said, he raced with his dad for 2 years in the pre-moto 3 and the moto 4. I think the person that helps us the most has to be our family. Like that's at least on my side, that's the people. Those are the people that like have supported me from day zero. So.
And you, Ethan, who do you who's brought you to where you are right at this stage? And of course, it's been a great season that you've had. I thoroughly enjoyed watching you and supporting you throughout the year.
Yeah, so same as Kristian, my family. So my parents definitely support me a lot. They get me to where I am, help fund a lot of the rides that I got this year. Because ETC is expensive and so is BTC. And all my sponsors, they've got me to where I was this season. I wouldn't be racing where I am now if I didn't have those sponsors. So yeah, just everyone that's really helped me out. All my leather sponsors, my helmet sponsors, everyone that's just put a little bit in to help me get to where I am now.
All right, guys. Well, that's been great to speak to you guys, and you need to get to bed so that you can get up in time for the GPs tomorrow, in case there is a GP race. So look out for that. And remember, Australia is many hours ahead, so it's 4 a.m. get up for you if you want to follow that. Then this interview as well as the video is already on YouTube, but it's still on private. But I will open up the video that I made for you, Kristian, and you can share it. I will actually also send you the actual video, the file that you can share on your socials if you like, and also the interview. But thank you guys very much. It's been great. I mean, I can retire now. I can just appoint Ethan as my successor in running the show, and we'll do it from there. And like I say, I'll keep a keen eye on your seasons next year, and we'll take it from there. So, any final words from you?
I mean, it's been super great interview. I mean, you guys, I think you asked some super good questions, both of you guys, and obviously that video, I forgot to mention it. I sometimes listen to rock as well. Like, I mean, it's every now and again I like listening to guitars and that type of music. So I mean, having my an edit of me over that's pretty special. It's pretty cool. So I'll for sure repost it. Try to get it all over my socials. But yeah, it's been a super fun interview, to be honest. And I mean, I hope you guys have me back again. It'd be awesome. So yeah, I mean that those are my last few words.
And you, Ethan, how do we say good evening to you? What thoughts do you take away from the interview?
No, it was a really good interview. Obviously, my second time on the show with you. So yeah, it's been really good talking to you and learning from Kristian about the Rebel rookies. So yeah, it's definitely been really beneficial, and hopefully I can have a good year next year in the Rebel rookies and come back on the show.
All right, well, guys, thank you very much. It's great. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I had to balance things out with some lag, so I had to watch on 2 locations just to see that everything lined up. And I've got a few messages, particularly from the musician who sang on your song, Kristian, to play the video again. So we're going to do that. We're going to play you guys out. So, and then for our viewers and listeners, keep a lookout on the Youth Force Racing page for news, for upcoming interviews. We're going to do some motocross guys. We've got a big news interview coming up about the Moto3 rider joining the World Championship ranks next year, and we'll do that interview as soon as his news has been announced. And this will be a guy that both of you know, by the way. Yeah, with that, it's me, Tina Snell, signing out. Until next time, keep a lookout on the page or on the group, Youth Force Racing group, and we'll see you on the other side. Thank you.
I'm Kristian Daniel. I like racing motorcycles a lot.
Circles, trying to find my way, chasing shadows and dreams that fade away with each new day. I thought I had a purpose, but it slipped right through. Now I'm left with nothing but the emptiness I knew. Maybe I should stop and take a breath, let go of the illusion and find my depth. Maybe then I'll find my way and the emptiness will fade. I'm chasing nothing and it's chasing me. Never-ending cycle of emptiness and energy. I'm searching for a meaning in this endless sea, but it's hard to find myself when I am chasing nothing, don't you see?
Yes, and KTM is so different.
I'll try to fill the void with temporary highs, but they only leave me hollow and wondering why.
Everyone has to be a
I thought I had direction, but I was wrong. Now I'm left with nothing but the echoes of my song. Maybe I should stop and take a breath, let go of the illusion and find my depth. Maybe then I'll find my way and the emptiness will fade. I'm chasing nothing and it's chasing me. Never-ending cycle of emptiness and energy. I'm searching for a meaning in this endless sea, but it's hard to find myself when I am chasing nothing, don't you see?
Finally.
go, Jay.
Third place, Kristian Daniel. Well done to the American rider.